And if you're watching my live video now, hello. If you're watching this later, you're more than welcome to add comments or questions or video requests in the section below, or you can find me on my group, Ask Gypsy Jean on Facebook. I also have Twitter and Instagram at Jean's Pet Rock. Today I wanted to talk to you about death and the afterlife. It's a common question that I'm getting from people that are still within the Abrahamic faith structure or new people to the pagan spiritual walk. And I wanted to give you a little bit of comfort in answering these questions for you in this video. Now, some indigenous tribes around the world cry when a baby's born and then celebrate when someone passes away. And the reason is, and the main reason I never had kids, is because we're coming into an age of suffering and strife on the planet right now. But thankfully, we're coming out of that period into the golden age, or the age of Aquarius, where our levels are rising, people are becoming more aware, and we're starting to come together as a community. All right, so what happens when you die? I have had some near-death or death experiences myself a couple of times, so I've crossed back and forth in between our dimensions, and I have also astral projected or astral traveled, however you'd like to say that. And I want to let you know that the main thing that is severely different in paganism as opposed to the control system of the Abrahamic faith and religions is evil and the devil. Evil and the devil in the Christianity specific type structure is more of a control factor, and it didn't exist until the Abrahamic religions took over the world or started to spread their Abrahamic faith religious structure. Before then, and now kind of a common feeling in the pagan community, at least in my local area, is after you pass away, you're released from this two-dimensional structure, which is like a suit, and your energy source, spirit, soul, goes back to the dimensions that we originated from. We review this lesson that we've had here on this life path, see what improvements could be made or knowledge to be taken with it to go on our next journey or advance the spiritual godlight as a whole. Or you can choose, if you're finished with all of your lessons and learning, you can rejoin the godlight itself. So dying is nothing to fear. It is a release and an advancement of your spirit light back to the dimension we came from. And Earth is kind of like a very end of the toner cartridge in your printer where it's getting gray and streaky. That's what Earth is. It's kind of like a really bad copy, if you will, of the dimension that we have come from. So it's a wonderful place. There's no pain, there's no suffering, there's no races, there's no fighting. The colors are like melted crayons, and it's overwhelming to even really try to bring it back into the human mental space, because you can't compare it. There's really no English that I know descriptors that will help you understand unless you've been there. It's kind of like having a matchstick to light your way when you're here, but when you cross over and you shed the mortal coil, you can see everything again. Excuse me. So I just wanted to let you know that it's a there's reincarnation, there's soul advancement, there's returning to our original godlight area. There's no suffering in hell. And one particular...
Or purgatory.
Or purgatory. That's a good point. There's no in-between waiting time. There's no judgment. There's no St. Paul and the gold or pearly gates. There's no right or wrong, or you're being punished for eternity because you stole a chocolate bar or whatever. Another thing that is very sensitive subject, and a lot of us don't like to talk about it because it is very visceral for people to speak of, and it can get responses dramatically one way or the other: suicide. My personal lesson and aspect from suicide, from what I've learned, is when you commit suicide, it is not a normal out. That is not like an accidental death or your planned checkout with a medical procedure or natural causes, because we have like 3 checkout points we can choose with our life plan, and I probably went way over my checkouts, and I just keep staying for whatever reason. But suicide means there's something severely wrong. that was not in your contract or life plan or lesson plan here on earth. So when you do that, it's breaking your lesson plan or your contract, for better lack of better words, and you go right back in vitro and you get reborn again automatically. There are some gray spaces, like a dark space in between, for people that have completely shut off spiritual advancement, God light, and shut down all communication, which I guess would be interpreted to some as purgatory. So some people do get stuck in a dark space, but it is not a devil or torture or punishment type situation. It's more of a dark soul, empty soul, got lost in the, didn't find the light, didn't go to the light, didn't, just got trapped. And that would go in with like sociopaths, psychopaths, really, really dark entities or people, which there's another discussion, may or may not be human to begin with, or have a excuse me, soul like we do. That's a whole other discussion. But I did want to let you know that the pagan spiritual path, apart from Christianity or the Abrahamic faith religions, we do not believe in the devil. There is no torture and punishment for wrongdoings, and it's not that severe after you die. It's a release. You get to shed this really tight polyester suit and be your being again. What you are inside, what's driving your meat suit, gets to get released. But anyway, I hope that answers your questions and gives you a little better feeling about it. Leave me comments, ask questions, video requests, anything you'd like to do would be great. Thanks for stopping in and watching, and I hope you share and you like it. Bye.